afternoon, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. Pag-asa is still monitoring a low-pressure area southwest of Cuyo in Palawan. The State Weather Bureau says this LPA could develop into a tropical depression within the next 48 hours. If this LPA does become a tropical depression, it will be called Betty here in the Philippines, or the second typhoon to hit the country this year. The said LPA was last seen some 75 kilometers southwest of Cuyo. Light to moderate to at times heavy rains will be experienced over Palawan and Western Visayas, while Metro Manila and the rest of the country could experience some isolated rains today. And this LPA has brought floods to some parts of Western Visayas from heavy rains. In Capiz, muddy waters swamped the streets in the town of Dao, with some motorists seen bravely wading through the flood waters. This was caused by a spillover of a river in Poblacion Ilaya. In the town of Cuarteros, still in Capiz, the flood waters reached its municipal building and its surrounding plaza as of 5 a.m. today. Meanwhile, in Iloilo, residents were rescued in Pasig City earlier today due to the heavy flooding. In other news, the United States has pledged its ironclad commitment to defend the Philippines during President Bongbong Marcos's historic visit to the Pentagon. The two countries also reaffirmed a decades-old security alliance as Manila and Washington seek to push back against China's aggression in the Southeast Asian region. Mobile journalist Julie Baiza with the report.
So make no mistake, Mr. President, we will always have your back in the South China Sea or elsewhere in the region.
This was U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's commitment as he welcomed President Bongbong Marcos at the Pentagon today. Prior to the meeting, Marcos was given full military honors and trooped the lines at the Department of Defense grounds. Austin assured that the U.S. always stands ready to defend the Philippines when it comes to the territorial issues in the South China Sea. More than being allies, he said that the Philippines and U.S. are family.
As I said before, Mr. President, we're more than allies, we're family. And we share a common vision for a free and open Indo-Pacific because a region governed by rules and rights helps provide security and prosperity for our two countries and for the whole region.
Friendship.
For his part, Marcos underscored the importance of continued cooperation and commitment of the two countries.
With the background of the strengthening relationship between our two countries, strengthening what already has begun is a long-standing and very robust relationship that we have developed over the many years. And the call of the times, unfortunately, is asking for us to meet these new challenges that perhaps we have not faced before.
Also released were the bilateral defense guidelines to modernize the alliance cooperation of the two countries, which was established by Austin and Philippine Defense Chief Carlito Galvez Jr. The guidelines reaffirmed the relevance of the U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaties in addressing both current and emerging threats. It aims to deepen interoperability through the expand cooperation on maritime security and maritime domain awareness, including through the continued conduct of combined maritime activities, including but not limited to joint patrols. Mobile journalist Julie Baiza, we are One News.
We're going to pause for a quick break, but One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Metro Pacific Investments Corporation posted almost a 40% increase in its income for the first quarter of 2023. Shaila Francisco with the details.
Metro Pacific Investments Corporation welcomed 2023 with good news. This comes as its core income hit 4.3 billion pesos in the first quarter, up by 38% compared to the same period last year. Its power and water businesses led the growth as more businesses continue to recover from the pandemic. Meralco alone contributed higher income due to the resumption of face-to-face classes and higher demand from hotel, restaurant, and real estate business. For this year, MPIC says it has allotted 140 billion pesos to fund its water and power businesses. MPIC also assures the public that despite plans to delist, business will remain as usual.
There's not going to be any change. We will run MPIC as if it was publicly listed. We will maintain the same board governance. We will still maintain the board committees. And we will also be publishing our integrated reports. At the end of the day, we want to give you the public comfort, that we would still be focused on our purpose of basically providing essential services to the Filipino and uplifting the lives of our country.
Last week, MPIC announced its plan to voluntarily delist from the local boards after it received a tender offer notice from a consortium to acquire a minority stake of the conglomerate. The consortium consists of Metro Pacific Holdings, GT Capital Holdings, MIT Pacific Infrastructure Holdings, and MIG Holdings. MIG Holdings is controlled by MPIC Chairman Manny Pangilinan. Pangilinan defended the move to go private, saying MPIC's current share price in the stock market does not reflect the value of the company. The consortium is offering to buy per share at 4 pesos and 63 centavos above the 4 pesos and 26 centavos share price before the delisting plan was announced.
Wala naman nangyari sa share price until may tender announcement, di ba? 380, 4 pesos, 410, never really moved. So, wala. So, we said, then why are we a public company if you cannot raise public money? Diba? And how can you raise equity money at a very low share price? It's punitive on the existing shareholders. It just limits your ability to grow. Kasi saan ka kukumpara to buy this or to buy that or to invest here?
Pangilinan also has this to say about MPIC's plan to go private.
I'm also getting, frankly, quite tired of being Pangilinan-led and that sort of thing. So I want to be identified as an owner as well, albeit a modest owner of Metro Pacific, no? So that was something I'd like to see.
The tender offer will run until June. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
All right, time for some sports. Some Pinoy athletes are taking the stage across various sports today for the 32nd Southeast Asian Games. Just a little while ago at 2 p.m., Edmundo Gatos started his match against Malaysia's Tin Shan Wan in men's chess ukchaktrang or Cambodian chess. Concurrent to that is the men's doubles game of the Philippines versus Vietnam. Jan Garcia and Paolo Bersamina are our country's bets for this tournament. Later at 7 in the evening, the young Azkals need to sweep their last two group play games, beginning with tonight's battle against Timor-Leste. And lastly, the men's volleyball team will try to rebound from getting swept by Indonesia when they play against Cambodia at 7:30 p.m. One News Now will be back at 3 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.